Just sit there and don't say a word. See how boring that is? See how boring that is? Let's not do it.
College to know what college is like.
I didn't go to college.
Either.
Just sit there and don't say a word. Well, I went to community college. That doesn't count. That's like high school plus. It is. It's like high school plus. It's not so. Well, good morning, beautiful people.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Raise your hand if you had to wake up super freaking early to drive to Phoenix this morning. It's weird this time of year because it's so sunny out at 5 a.m. It's like the middle of the afternoon. All right, tell me some cool things over the weekend. What happened to you that you're proud of, celebrating, or excited for?
I closed just under 4 million this month.
Okay. What kept you from getting over 4 million?
I guess going on vacation.
Hey, what is that beeping? Is that me? It's gotta be me. Well, I'm proud of you, Gracie. That's amazing. 4 million just in 1 month. Girl, you're killing it. Keep it up.
Yeah, that's badass.
Thank you.
So for those of you who are not in the California market, that means she sold 3.5 broom closets and 1 bathroom. 4 million. No, I'm excited. I remember when Gracie first started with us and she was struggling along to get clients, and look at her now, 4 million in 1 month. Girl, love that. That makes my heart sing. Just seeing that kind of development and growth. I love it. I love it. What else you guys got?
Did a price reduction on my listing and I got 3 showings in the next hour.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to bail out of here quickly, aren't you?
Yep.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Go out there and work. Come on, everyone else. Let's go. It's like
I
show
have
and
a
tell it real.
I have a buyer that is looking for investment property, and we found one for him. So we're trying to see if he can get this one. So I talked to the agent yesterday, but I texted him or her and didn't get a response yet. But so that's what I'm gonna do after this meeting.
There you go.
Try to work that out.
From buyer inception to buyer offer, 3 days for me this weekend. That was fun. We saw 12 houses on Saturday and Sunday. So your boy got a little sunburned. Anyone else? Any other shares? Any caretakers? What do you got, Joanne?
Another buyer consult off of my signs. So
Nice.
yeah,
That's awesome.
a second one this month. So
I'd like to share with like this buyer I'm working this weekend. He's an investor. He's an agent also in Connecticut. We've done some deals in the past. I did something that I've been telling you guys to do, right? You print the information, you give them statistics, you give them the information, and then you help them make a well-informed decision. So I provided them with the agent sheet and some statistics to each house. What its current price is, what the history of the price changes are in the area, what's happening at that price point, and what is going on with the market in total. Showing them, hey, this house just got a price reduction after X amount of days in this neighborhood. We're seeing houses go under contract. So they were well informed with it. So when it came to saying, hey, what do you guys want to put an offer in at? They were like, well, we know it just took a price reduction, so it's likely going to sell here shortly. So like saying to my heart, I'm like, they looked at my information and they read it and they cared about it. That was huge. Not that most people don't do that, but when you're advising your clients, are you not protecting their better interests? it's kind of a cool environment. It's a very cool environment to say, listen, this is a terrible decision. How about we do this instead? What I love about this is this guy he's put an offer in one house that potentially could be a great deal. We are definitely under list price, and I think it's a low offer, but you know what? Let's ride it and see what happens. Can't get a counter if you don't put an offer. Well, what came to it is he also goes, you know what? If this one falls through, we have the one down the street that's a little bit less that we're going to go after. Because giving him options and then setting him up for a contingency plan was the best thing. So let's talk about that today. As your mindset reset is, what's your contingency plan? If plan A doesn't happen, what are we going to do for plan B? What are we going to change, alter, adapt? Have we thought about that? Have we thought about what happens if plan A doesn't happen? What if the buyer doesn't get the house that they want? Do we have an alternative? Do we have another plan? How good does it feel going into a situation knowing that there's another alternative outcome that's okay? Do you feel more grounded or more crazy? When we have alternatives, does it make you feel more in control or more loose and wild? Being able to create plan B, plan C, plan D is important because you're going to have that conversation with your client, buyer or seller. Hell, even with yourself. If this doesn't work, we're going to do X, Y, and Z. It's still going to get us to our end goal. How many times have you heard me say it? Don't change the goal, change the activity. Once or twice? Just once, twice, maybe once, twice, 3 times a lady. So don't change the goal, change the activity. Well, yeah, if plan A doesn't work, like this is, we're going to get a house in this neighborhood at this price, that's plan A. But if it doesn't work, let's go with plan B, which is maybe a slightly different home in a slightly different neighborhood that's similar. Okay. Well, what about sellers? Plan A is we're going to get the house sold at this price on the market for these days. We're going to do this marketing. And if it doesn't sell, what's plan B? Do we have plan B in place already? Well, plan B is that we're going to slightly adjust our marketing. We're going to slightly adjust our positioning. And we're going to come at it with a different angle. But what if that doesn't work? Do we just throw our hands up and say, I quit? I'm over, I'm done? No, don't change the goal, change the activity. Don't change the goal, change the activity. I don't care if you need to go to plan C, D, E, hell, even plan K. Maybe it's plan KW. I don't know. But when you hit a level where things aren't working, adjust. Now, in my example with the seller, did I say we're going to make major adjustments? What did I say? Simple, minor adjustments. If the buyer that we're going out there looking for plan A house, do we make major adjustments between plan A and plan B? Or are they minor changes? It might be something that's a little different in a neighborhood that's a little bit further away. Our activities every day are dictated upon our results that we have in mind. If your end result is X, let's say if your end result is to walk 5,000 steps in a day, are you going to spend all day on the couch? No. But if you don't have the end result of taking 5,000 steps in a day, do you care about how much sedentary time you have? Sedentary. How much on your ass time you have? You don't. Because if we don't have a goal in mind, if we don't have a plan, if we don't have an aspiration, if we don't have an end result tied to the actions we're doing, are we looking at the actions critically? What's the end result, right? We want to own a home. Why do we want to buy a house? Well, we want to be closer to our grandchildren. We just had our first granddaughter. We want to be, we want 20 minutes. Okay, minutes time or less than minutes from the phone call. Hey, your help minutes away. Oh no, we want to be there. I want to be on the way home from work, be able to stop by and see my grandchild. Okay, great. So that gives us a couple neighborhoods to play with. Let's go far back in 2022. We talked about this the very first time. Lifestyle over logic. Remember that? Who was around for the initiations of that? Lifestyle over logic. We have to understand the why people are doing something, the lifestyle behind it, not the logic, because that allows us to create plan A, B, C, and D. Because if things don't go well, plan A, you get the house, you get the great deal on the house in the neighborhood they want to live in. Everything is beautiful. It goes well. Fantastic. We get the $20,000 in credit. We get the $20,000 off in sales price. We get all the things that we want. Plan A, perfect. But what if it doesn't happen? Well, plan B is we go in with a different approach. Maybe we take a little change in this or a little change in that, but it still gets you X, Y, and Z in your lifestyle. It still puts you in the neighborhood you want to be in. It still puts you 20 minutes away from your grandchildren. Now we just have a 3-minute longer commute, or you got to put a little bit more money into the yard than you thought you did. Again, small adjustments, but the end result doesn't change. How does that correlate to you as an individual and you as a business professional?
It's less stress when you have to make big changes, but when you just tweak it a little bit and you make small adjustments, it's a little bit easier.
Yeah. Right. Raise your hand if you have a goal for yourself, either personally or professionally. Two or three of you. All right. Some of us should have a couple of those, one professionally, one personally, at least. But like Audra said, is it easier to make big changes in your life or small adjustments? Small adjustments, micro improvements. We go from every single day waking up and being confused at what we're going to do to every single day we wake up and check our calendar, check our plan. Right? This is our plan. Now we have a plan. Okay. Now we're exponentially more successful than we could have been otherwise. Well, what if happens? What if happens? Murphy happens, life happens, family happens, things happen. And they directly challenge our plan. So what are we going to do in the alternative? What's plan B going to be? Small adjustments, not uproot everything and change everything. You know what? Fuck it. If I don't sell this house, I'm going to quit the business. I'm going to go into trapeze artistry. I'm going to become a highline trapeze artist. I just can't do real estate anymore. Not probably a good plan. Because you're making massive life changes and swings and stuff like that. Well, if I'm not successful in real estate, then why don't we make a small adjustment? Okay, why don't we just put an hour of our day into 100% real estate contacts? Well, I already do that. Okay, great. Then maybe an hour and a half. Small adjustments. If I were to come to you and say, okay, good morning, Jason. This is day one of the hell that you're going to live for the rest of your life. You need to make 400 phone calls today. And 400 phone calls every single day for the rest of your life. And yesterday, Jason made 0. How does that make you feel, Jason?
I just shit myself.
Yeah, 400. That's a big number. 2 things are going to happen. Either they're going to rise to the challenge because the type of person like me is just, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to make it happen. Or they're going to, and there's no shame on either side. They're going to be like, you know what? This isn't worth it. I don't want my life to change that much. It's not worth it. Back to lifestyle versus logic. Logically, I want to be successful. I want to be happy. I want to have all the things in life that I want to have. But my lifestyle says you don't have time to do that work. And you don't want to make it because I don't want to change how I live in order for me to change how I live. Lifestyle over logic. But if I come to Jason and say, hey, Jason, tell me where you want to be in 10 years. Okay. Well, that would mean in 10 years' time, you need to get to about 400 conversations a day. What'd you do yesterday? Well, Jason says 0. Okay. Jason, do you think you can make 4 conversations happen tomorrow? Just 4.
Yes.
Okay. And the day after that, could you make 5?
Yeah, when you break it down to the simple like that, yeah, absolutely.
Hey, how about the day after that? Do you think you could do 6?
Yes.
All right. Do you see how every day we're increasing it, but it's a simple increase? So why are we going to our clients with these massive changes and overhauls? Why are we going to ourselves with these massive changes and overhauls?
Because we feel like we need to.
We feel like we need to, right? We feel like we have to make these monumental shifts in life in order to be successful. Raise your hand if you know someone who's lost a ton of weight, like 100, 200 pounds or more. How often do they keep that weight off? Yeah, there's a lot of head nods like, nope, they don't keep it off. Why is that? Well, because they
so many
made this.
songs that have encouraged so many.
Exactly, Audrey. Listen to that radio and me at the same time. Perfect idea. Double the information. Well, here's the thing is because people that lose that drastic weight, the 200 pounds, probably did something radical, like a complete stark sugar detox, and then change to an all carnivore diet, and then go to the gym 5 days a week. And they do all of this stuff. When day 0, they didn't do any of this stuff. Well, yeah, they have these gains. They have these successes. Yeah, they lost 200 pounds and they've changed their life. Oh my God, they look amazing. But then 6 months later, what happens?
Can't keep it up.
Yeah, they're right back to where they were or worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can do short-term sacrifice. I can do short-term adjustments. I can struggle in the near term. But my lifestyle is going to reclaim me. So now I need to change my lifestyle. I'm 38 years old. Do you think my lifestyle today was created yesterday? Or do you think this is something I've been building for 38 years? I've got a 38-year-long ship that I need to turn ever so much, turn ever so much, turn ever so much to get to a different end result. In business, we like to do these great things, these massive things, these overhauls, like we're going to change everything. It's not going to work. It may give you short-term balance, right? Short-term growth, short-term excitement. But the odds are against you long-term because you haven't changed the lifestyle. You haven't made the small adjustments that make it easy. They say that if you change your business, you change your life, you start doing the things every single day that you're supposed to do in the small increments you're supposed to do them, you won't notice the change until all of a sudden you look up and everything has changed. Every one of us has the willpower in us to go out there and do something monumental today. And that willpower may last 2, 3, 4 days. Is it going to rest? Is it going to last the rest of your life? No, but if you make a small adjustment, like, you know what? Every single day, I'm going to do my laundry, dishes, clean up, whatever. I'm going to set myself up for a potential win every single day. And I'm going to do it. Or maybe it's something simple like I'm going to change how I respond to a certain person or a certain type of person. I'm going to make some small adjustments. That way, when plan A doesn't go to plan, things go to shit, plan B isn't that far off. It's just a small adjustment. It's like going from a 4-wheel drive truck to a 3-wheel car. Like, yeah, you lost a wheel. It's probably not as safe and secure as it was before, but 3 is better than 2 and 2 is better than 1. Unless you're Mikey, you can ride a unicycle upside down. So think about that as you're making your plans out for yourselves this month. We're coming up to the end of May, which is a couple weeks away. We're going to be coming into June. Oh my God, summer is here, girl. But if you want something different, like don't change plan B to be completely different than plan A. Just make some small adjustments. You got a buyer or a seller that wants something because it's going to match their lifestyle. Let's not change the entire plan. Let's make some small adjustments. 1 degree of difference is a lifetime of change. There's a great book called 1 Degree. I think it was what it is, but it goes into premises. What's the difference between 211 and 212 degrees?
1 degree.
1 degree, right? What happens at 211 degrees? Nothing. But increase it 1 more degree, what happens?
Find the Americas.
You find the Americas. Little Christopher Columbus joke there, huh? No, 1 degree of difference is boiling. Or if you look at the other side of the equation, 32 degrees is freezing, 33 degrees is nothing. It's just cold. But it gets colder 1 degree at a time. It gets hotter 1 degree at a time. So if we are wanting to change our lives, we're trying to boil our success, it's going to be dangerous as hell throwing your water on a hot fire because you might put the fire out. But if you put a cold pot on a fired stove, which is your life now, your business, your goals, your hopes, your aspirations, your dreams, and you allow it to get better 1 degree at a time, and you push yourself to get 1 degree better every single day, it's not going to look Herculean. It's not going to look like you had to walk up a straight cliff. You're going to turn around and look back and be like, oh my God, my life is on fire. I'm boiling. I'm doing great. Everything is just doing well. We're cooking with gas. Everything's different. Everyone around me is different. Plan A didn't go to plan. Plan B probably went to shit. Plan C, man, we didn't even write it down. We're on plan E, F, and G right now. But you want to know something? Every plan says I need to get 1% better. Every plan says I need to do something that's going to get me closer to my end goal, my someday life. Because my someday life never changed. The destination never changed. How you get there changes. The vehicle you drive, the people you go with, the things you see along the way will change. But where you're going, if that's really where you want to be, is it going to change? I see some head nods. I see some thoughtful facial expressions. What are you hearing? Joanne?
Kind of explains why I'm freaking out a little bit because I'm trying to figure out a new, I guess, lead generation lever, and this kind of I guess why I'm freaking out because I'm trying to pick something new, and it's like such a drastic change what I'm normally doing because I normally do open houses and I'm trying new things and I'm freaking out because it's such a drastic change and that's why because it's more than 1 degree
Yeah.
and yeah, so
Typically when we completely reinvent ourselves, our business, our life, everything, if we reinvent ourselves, it collapses because we don't know the foundation of lifestyle.
yeah.
So what would it look like if we take what we're already doing and add in that additional like growth, challenging, and then over time we build it. Maybe this new change overrides what we used to do in time. But it's really hard to get a freight train to jump tracks and not
Mhm.
crash.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm sure someone's done it. But when you got a freight train moving down the tracks and you make a sudden change, what happens to it?
Falls over, crashes, explodes.
Explodes, man. Makes really good Michael Bay films.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I tried cancel expired last week. That was interesting.
Add, not
I'm
replace.
adding, not replace. I'm adding.
Right? Put them on the back of your train. Your train's already moving. Things are already going. Things are already working in your manner. Like you've already done the things that made you successful. Keep doing them. Double down. But then add in sprinkles of stuff. Increases 1%. If I were to tell you right now, guys, you have to go 100% cold turkey, no more sugar. 10 days from now, you guys would feel amazing. But the next 10 days, you'd be absolute murder. Because we become addicted. Our bodies become reliant on certain things. Our business becomes reliant on certain things. And if you all out stop doing those things, it'll kill the business. It'll kill you. But over time, you can wane yourself away from bad things. Dopamine traps, also known as TikTok. So think about that as you're making your plans. More salute for the week is, where am I going to push myself now? What small improvement am I going to do? And if plan A failed, how is plan B going to get me there? What detour am I going to take to get me back to the same goal, not a different goal? Don't make drastic changes in your life. Small adjustments will make a way bigger impact because it's small adjustments over time. The compounding effect. The Compound Effect, another great book. Jim has that one on his shelf. I know he does.
And so,
You don't think? No.
actually, I know I don't.
Well, we're going to fix that. But all right. Any other thoughts, comments, questions, concerns, creative feedback, guys? What'd you hear? What'd you like? What'd you hate?
Small corrections.
Yeah. Was it a good visual about the train? Right. Think about that.
Yeah. Definitely.
Your lives are moving. Your lives are already steaming down the tracks. You try to jump tracks, change direction instantly, it ain't gonna work. It may be a great idea, but it ain't gonna work. You may have a huge mess to clean up just to put it back on the tracks to get moving again, which is sometimes okay. Maybe you're going so far down the wrong tracks, you need to derail it. Just know that when you have to take that big of an action, it's going to be that big of a cleanup. So don't expect immediate results.
The longer you stay on the train, the more expensive it is to get back.
Yeah. If the train's going the wrong direction, the longer you stay on that train, the harder it is to get the other way. So maybe that's a good thought too. A good question there is, are you on the right tracks? Fuck, are you on the right train? Are you controlling it or is someone else? We could run down this locomotive idea the entire day. We can run into it more, but think about that. Chew on that a little bit. That's a little bit of your thinking time today. Where's my train going? And if this train continues down this path, where's it going to end up? If it's close to where you need to go, you just got to make some small adjustments, great. But if you're dead wrong, dead ass in the wrong place, derail that train knowing you're going to have a hell of a cleanup to turn it around. But let me tell you this, and I'm going to tell you this with the utmost certainty that you need to hear it. You don't have to do it alone. I'm going to tell you again, you don't have to do it alone. You got people around you to talk to, educate you, mentor you, help you pick up the pieces. Don't do it alone. Did you guys learn something today? Good.
Absolutely. Thank you.